Lorenzo, I must share with you a
Yeah.
story from my life that really kind of. I'm a huge fan of advertising, and I think what's exciting about advertising is that it's a big gamble and we actually don't know what aspects of advertising work and what don't. But I find it very. I feel like in this world where everything is becoming more and more measured, people are actually pulling away from kind of traditional forms of advertising like newspaper advertising, and even YouTube is difficult to attribute. I think there's a lot of so people are like, CEOs are like, you know what, if it cannot be one-to-one attributed, I don't want to invest in it. And I actually think that's very dangerous. I think there's a lot of user behavior that happens, and there's lots of conversations on LinkedIn as well, which I agree about the dark funnel. um, but I want to
Hmm.
share with you a story about something that I experienced in my first job. So I used to work, I just finished college, I got my first job in this company that was essentially like a hardware company that was selling laptops in Bombay. And this is like the year 2000 was when I graduated, so laptops were still kind of like a thing that executives were using. And so there weren't too many distributors or resellers, and these guys were like the big resellers, or they eventually became big resellers in Bombay, which is the biggest city in India. um, and there were three founders. And I was one day talking to one of the founders, and I asked him, I said, how did you like go from 0 to 1? Like, how do you have an idea for, okay, we want to be a laptop reseller.
Mm.
You have to have relationships with Toshiba, Sony, you have to have customers. You don't have the money. Like, how do you cross that? He says, well, let me tell you the story. He says, we had three founders. One of them was the money guy. So he basically put the money. The other two people were sweat equity. And he says, what the money guy did was, he says, they had only like 200,000 rupees, 2 lakhs,
Hmm.
was
How
all
much
they
is
had
it?
for advertising.
How how much is 200
Very little,
rupees?
probably like, I don't even know, maybe like $5,000, $10,000, very small
Okay.
numbers. But the point is that they said what we did was we took out a full page ad on the biggest financial newspaper in Bombay.
Uh-huh.
And he
Bold.
says,
Bold.
sorry,
They're bold. Like bold move.
and one ad.
Crazy.
And he says it just, the business took off. And I was just thinking about, like, I think there is something to be said about like this kind of like all in kind of
Hmm.
mindset
Yeah.
for advertising. It's not related to conversion optimization, but it's something that it's very interesting. So I just wanted to kind of chat with you about it.
Yeah, I actually saw a post recently, I think it was like a few days ago, about um it was a matrix, like a table matrix that showed um I think it was like five or six most successful, some of super successful tech companies like Airbnb and like Booking.com and stuff like that. And how there was one channel, right, that was actually to cover the most versus all the others. So to kind of like, you know, back your point of they went all in on one channel only. I think it was like Booking.com. They went all in on like Google Ads. I think Airbnb they went all in on SEO. So as you said, like going all in on one thing, one channel. This case, in your ex-boss case, it was advertising. Was it like offline advertising?
Offline, yeah, all
No,
just like a print
offline.
newspaper. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
Full page, like a full
So
page ad,
yeah,
crazy.
so I'm not. What I'm just saying here is like I'm not surprised, right? Like I wonder how many other startups that have one channel that has gone like super 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 well in terms of growth for them.
That's right. That's right. Awesome, man. Just wanted to share this. Take care.
Cool.